Batman Gotham by Gaslight. It is a Batman story that takes place at the turn of the century. The previous century, not this century. I still forget that sometimes. So this movie was based on a one-shot Elseworld comic, and I gotta put up my usual disclaimer. I've never read it. Honestly, I've never even heard about it before this movie, so I will only be judging this as a movie and not how much it represents the source material. The plot of this movie is that there's a serial killer walking the streets named Jack the Ripper, which is strange because this takes place in old Gotham and not England. And it's up to Batman and Selina Kyle to find out who he is and stop him. This is another rated R DC movie, and it's very, very visceral. You can expect a lot of blood, guts, and murder. So I hope you're into that. A lot of references to characters from Batman in this movie. Harvey Dent is very prominent in this. Pamela Isley shows up very briefly. That's Poison Ivy. You got, of course, James Gordon, Harvey Bullock, and there was this old lady, it was like old crazy lady, that I think was supposed to be a reference to Harley Quinn, but I'm not entirely sure. Probably my favorite was, at the very beginning of this movie, you meet three orphan boys who are pickpockets and they rob people on the street, and they were all named after the various Robins from the series. As I stated before, Selina Kyle is prominent in this movie as well. Selina Kyle, of course, is Catwoman, but in this movie, she's not really Catwoman. I mean, she has the whip and everything, and they said something about her being a lion tamer, and there was scenes where she was like being followed by cats, and there's a lot of symbolism to it, but she was never actually like proper Catwoman. In this movie, she was a singer who was helping Batman in the investigation. She was an investigator herself, and she wanted to join forces with Batman because the serial killer was going mostly after women, and she wanted to help stop him. It's very different from how we normally see her, but I really like this change quite a bit. I love the old setting for this story. It fits Gotham very well. It gives it a very, very noir feeling, which is what you'd normally associate with a Batman story. Although it did kind of make me realize that when you put Batman in a setting that is not a modern era, he kind of sucks. He doesn't have all of his gadgets. He has a couple. He used the grappling hook once, and I think he had a motorcycle at the very end of the movie, and I believe this was supposed to be like before motorcycles were a thing. And other than that, he really didn't have anything else. There was no Bat computer. His Bat cave was, I think, in an attic in his mansion or whatever. And that was pretty much it. But yeah, Batman without too many gadgets, not the best Batman. He does hold his own, though, because there are a lot of fight scenes in this movie. And I gotta say, I do love me a good, well-animated ass-whooping. Now, without spoiling anything, I do gotta say, I do like the twist of who the killer was. I genuinely did not see it coming, and in fact, I don't believe I've seen it happen before. At least I've never seen it. Maybe there's some other comic or something that did something similar. Although I do gotta say the motives for the killer were a bit forced. Like, they kind of came out of nowhere. Like, this wasn't fully established, I don't think. But as for the killer's identity, again, I genuinely did not see it coming, and it was quite a surprise. So I really like this movie. I like the old-timey aesthetic to it. The story was really good. All the voice actors were very good as well. So I definitely recommend it if you do want something a little bit different with Batman. Now, with that being said, I've come to the realization that this is now the 4th Batman movie in a row that I've reviewed. And you know what? There's going to be another one coming out in a few months. Ninja Batman, or whatever that was. So that's going to be 5 Batman movies that DC released in a row. And with the exception of Batman and Harley Quinn, it's not like they've been bad or anything. In fact, they're all very distinctly different, which is a good thing. But for the love of God, DC, put Batman to bed for a while. You were doing so good with these movies not too long ago. You gave us a nice animated universe for the Justice League. We had a bunch of Teen Titans movies. You gave us Justice League Dark. You had that thing with Vixen. And you were doing really well. You were utilizing all the other characters you had. And now suddenly you've just gone back to the way you were. I mean, seriously, have you learned nothing? Give us a Wonder Woman movie. Give us another Green Lantern movie or Flash. I mean, hell, we haven't even seen a Superman movie in a while. Those were really big. It was like Batman and Superman for the longest time with these direct-to-DVD animated movies. And we've barely seen Superman. We've seen him in like the Justice League movies, but that's about it. We've not seen a standalone Superman movie. I never even thought I'd want to see a Superman movie, but geez, 5 Batman movies in a row? And I hate to say it, but I'm getting sick of Batman. I like Batman, but geez, it's just so oversaturated at this point, and every time I sit down to do one of these movies, I feel like I'm just talking about the same things over and over, even though, you know, a lot of the movies, they're very different, but it's the same characters, a lot of times it's the same voice actors. I just feel like I'm repeating myself. I just want something different, and, you know, I appreciate they're doing different things with the character, but can you maybe give us a different character? Is that so hard? The DC Cinematic Universe is giving individual movies to all the characters. In fact, they're getting multiple movies, you know, just like the Marvel ones. But you guys are sticking to just Batman, and it's, again, it's not that it's bad, but it's getting boring. Oh man, I just don't want to talk about Batman anymore. Just give me someone else. I'm still gonna end up checking out Ninja Batman. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not too keen on the CGI aesthetic, but the story seems like it's gonna be solid at the very least. But, geez, I don't know. I think I'm just done with Batman for a while. Hopefully something else comes out after that movie. But anyway, that's all I got for Gotham by Gaslight. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think of it. My name is Rob. For the love of God, DC, give me something else.